Yes, you've read that right. The story is terrible in Spider-Man 2. No, not that Spider-Man 2. The game. I mean the game.
You the man!
Good God, they really need to name these games better. Before I get into criticisms, I'd like to mention what I think the game did pretty well. Miles' whole revenge arc with Mr. Negative was engaging, as well as the multiple villain redemptions. It's good to see enemies of Spider-Man being more than obstacles for him to punch, and see some character growth. Craven is easily the best character in this game, a complete badass who is dedicated to his goals. In a lot of ways, he's similar to Thanos in Infinity War. He's introduced by killing some characters from previous stories, establishing him as a powerful opponent, so powerful, in fact, it isn't certain whether the hero can win against them. His ideology is absolutely insane, but his dedication to his goals makes him really engaging to watch. We don't need to feel sorry or empathize with him. He is just a competent villain, something we rarely see in mainstream stories these days. Speaking of feeling sorry for villains, that moves me nice along to Harry's Venom. I'm not gonna lie, Venom and the Black Suit were kinda disappointing.
Disappointed!
Which is a shame since I was looking forward to them the most. I'll talk about the Black Suit in a second, but let me talk about Venom first. Dear viewers, let me ask you this. Why did Harry need to be Venom in this story? Why not have Eddie Brock as Venom? Why did they adapt it differently? When the story from the comics was perfectly fine. I think the main reason why was because the writers wanted you to feel sorry for the villain. Harry is a victim of the symbiote, someone who had good intentions but in the end was corrupted. Harry shared a big fondness for Peter, only to become their worst enemy. Does that sound familiar? It should, because they essentially recycled Otto's villain arc from the previous game. Someone who had good intentions, who had a big fondness for Peter, and became their worst enemy. It's the same arc, just slapped together with a new coat of paint. This approach to writing Venom seems uncreative, lazy, as if they're recycling their previous main villain. It's also a terrible way to adapt Venom. Venom is the antithesis of Spider-Man. All the power, none of the responsibility. The worst person possible wears the symbiote, a complete scumbag, Eddie Brock. Him and the symbiote are a perfect bond, as they both share an obsession and hatred of Spider-Man. Venom stalks Peter like a monster from a horror movie. He can shapeshift and avoid his spider sense. He can easily target Peter's loved ones due to the symbiote knowing a lot about his day-to-day life. That's the general building blocks of Venom. The game does include some of these elements, that malice that Venom has when he confronts Peter at his home. I only wish we could have gotten more of these scenes. Personal conflict between Venom and Peter. Instead, it's all completely overshadowed by the symbiote invasion. It's certainly a weird decision to go with, since there's years worth of stories between Venom's first appearance and a symbiote invasion. There were some scenes in which MJ, Miles, and Peter jokingly refer to the symbiote as goo.
Central Park Reservoir.
The water system.
Pumping goo everywhere. Adding more and more people to the hive mind.
Goodbye, Earth. Hello, Planet Goo.
Don't worry guys, it's only a parasitic alien that takes control of your mind and fulfills your darkest desires and is running rampant through this world. By all means, keep joking about it. I swear it's in the same vein as the joke from No Way Home about Doc Ock's name.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Dr. Otto Octavius. Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
We can't expect God to do all the work.
Speaking of symbiote invasions, how many times do we see world-ending stakes in superhero media? Too many times. When the stakes are so large, it's difficult for audiences to get a grasp on. But when it's down to two people fighting against each other till the bitter end, it becomes a lot more personal, easier to get invested. Focusing more on the conflict between Venom and Spider-Man and getting rid of the symbiote invasion would have made the story a lot less generic and a lot more engaging. And speaking of engaging, or rather the lack of engagement, I swiftly move on to the Black Suit arc. I don't know if it's just me, but I found it pretty forgettable. Out of all the Black Suit stories, this one stands out the least. It does reference a lot from other Black Suit stories, but it doesn't bring anything new to the table. If anything, this arc made Peter look weak-willed. Miles had to help him a whole lot to get the suit off, whilst in other iterations, he takes the suit off by himself. To add salt to injury, I really didn't care for the side characters Peter was hurting when he was wearing the suit. Oh no, he's ignoring Miles's phone calls. How terrible. Oh no, he's being mean to MJ, who throughout this game has been an absolute but my humble apologies, YouTube. I forgot the sacred rule of thou shalt not swear. If I were to shorten down this video and had to pin down the worst elements of this game, it would have to be MJ and the ending. MJ behaves like Amber from Invincible Season 1, self-interested and ignorant of their boyfriend's problems. She acts like the world revolves around her. Peter is the one with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Could show a little more care to him. And of course, the MJ stealth missions are back. Oh, what's that you say? Our customers didn't like them in the previous game? Well, too bad. We're going to triple down on them and shove them down your throat. Truly a fantastic business practice.
Let's talk about the MJ missions a little bit.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because you made her like the most OP character in the game. Let's just get it out there.
She's OP.
One shot everybody.
She's
yeah.
OP. I knew that those missions weren't the fan favorites coming out of Spider-Man 1. We knew we had to make her more of a proactive, capable person. And if she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. But yeah, she's OP. She's probably OP. I don't care.
They are really trying to push MJ as a strong, independent heroine. But what these writers and directors don't seem to fundamentally understand is that a character does not need physical strength in order to be strong. Did Aunt May need to take down 30 Kraven henchmen and a huge symbiote boss in order to be considered strong? Of course not. She helped Peter when he was in need. And she could have easily asked Peter to save her in this scene. She didn't. And that takes a particular strength of character.
You're gonna be okay, ma'am. I've got the cure right here.
Take off your mask. I want to see my nephew.
You knew?
I've known for a while.
I never wanted you to worry.
I did. And I am so proud of you. And Ben would be too. All the people you've saved.
I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do.
The ending of this game really shot itself in the foot. Peter takes a break from being Spider-Man. This frustrates me on a multitude of different levels. He's leaving New York to Miles, the Spider-Man who has much less experience than him. Throughout this story, the two Spider-Men struggled immensely. What makes Peter think Miles could handle another Craven and Venom level threat by himself? The two of them together barely succeeded. Two Spider-Man is always better than one. Again, this portrays Peter as someone completely irresponsible. You know, the exact opposite of what a Spider-Man should be. Peter has done this to Miles twice now. Last time he went on a holiday with MJ. And besides, would it not make more sense for Peter to take a break from being Spider-Man if Harry had died? It would definitely give the ending a much more emotional tone, like the last game did. Nope. Miles pulls out a life-saving ability out of nowhere. And Harry is in a convenient coma, ready for the writers to use Venom whenever they want a spin-off game or something. Harry's gone full circle. At first, he was hibernating in a test tube, and now he's in a coma in a hospital bed. Fantastic. Those have been some of my thoughts on the story of the game, and to put it lightly, it's been a huge disappointment for me. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.